Hi, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. This is Tassif from Madison, Wisconsin. And we are going to be discussing some really important stuff today. First, I'll be talking about what's happening at the border, something really crazy that I saw in the news today. And then I'll talk about Senate Bill 4 in Texas. And then I'll talk about some election updates. Now, before I go into the discussion, I want to know who's here. Please, as you are joining, write your name, say hello, tell me where you're from, um, so that we can grow this community. As I keep saying, this is a community. As you're joining the live stream, um, you're becoming part of a community of freedom-loving Americans. So please, let me know who's here. Write your name. I usually wait for around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes right after I start the live stream before I go into the discussion. That way, it gives people time to join. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting. We are past 1 minute, 30 seconds. I'm going to wait for maybe half a minute or a minute more before I go into the discussion. So as you are joining, please write something in the chat window. When you write something in the chat window, that tells me who's here. Now, okay, a little bit about my attire today. Okay, I'm wearing a flowery shirt, which gives you a feeling of spring, which is, I mean, technically we are in the season of spring. And but don't be deceived, because outside, believe it or not, it's snowing. I can see flurries, and I'm here in Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, and if I don't know where you're tuning in from. You may be in the Midwest, you may be in Wisconsin, you may be in East Coast, West Coast, somewhere in the South. So let me just share with you that we're supposed to get some some heavy snow overnight. Okay, there's snow advisory. I don't know if it's like an advisory or a warning or what it is, but the forecast tells me that there's going to be some heavy accumulation overnight. I think it's going to go from maybe 1 a.m., midnight 1 a.m. to Friday afternoon. But right before starting this live stream, I looked outside and I saw that it has already started snowing. You could see the flurries in the air. And so, as much as I am trying to feel like it's spring, which it is, but we're not. I mean, we had some beautiful warm weather days, but we're back to the winter weather, unfortunately. But that's nature. That's okay. And I'm still trying to feel like it's spring, which is why I'm wearing this flowery shirt. But we're gonna do some serious discussion today, okay? So I am going to jump into the discussion now. Anyone who has joined, please write something in the chat window, okay? Just say hello. All right, my friends, I saw a very crazy video today, a crazy video. And when I say a crazy video, it's really crazy. It is crazy. And I usually try not to use the word crazy because I'm a writer, and I always feel that no matter how intense or strange or whatever video I see or image I see, I should be able to describe it using words that are a little bit more sophisticated than the word crazy. Teresa Ross is here. Teresa, thank you for joining. Teresa is waving at me. Hi, Teresa. Teresa from Arizona. I try to remember all the states. Teresa from Arizona. So, Teresa, thank you for joining. Um, let me just tell, and Teresa, just so you know, I'm going to be talking about some election updates a little later in the live stream, and I will be discussing a little bit about Arizona. So if you're interested, please stay tuned in. Don't leave, okay? Thank you. So as I was saying, I try to use some words that describe an image or a video or a situation more accurately. People usually would say in everyday language, we use the word crazy, like, oh, it was crazy. It was crazy good. Or it was so bad. It was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. People use terms like that, right? We use the word crazy. But I try to use different words that would describe a good situation or a bad situation more accurately. I'm a writer. So I want to be able to describe things properly rather than just saying, oh, it was crazy. But today I'm telling you what I saw. I saw a video, and you may have seen it. It's all over the news now. I saw a video of something happening at the southern border, and I thought it was just absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy. This is a video from El Paso, Texas. And if you have not seen it, I recommend that you look it up on the internet. So I'll describe what I saw. A group of more than 100 migrants, okay, could be seen trying to force their way into the United States. They were not just crossing. They were not just like jumping over some kind of fence. They were not just sneaking their way into the country. A group of more than 100 migrants could be seen trying to force their way into the United States. This was a crazy scene. It was the scene of an invasion. An invasion. The illegal immigrants attempted to break through razor wire. They rushed the border wall. I mean, that's how crazy the scene was. And, if you have not seen it yet, I encourage that you look it up. And Teresa Ross writes, I saw that today. It was shocking. That's what I'm saying, Teresa. It was just absolutely crazy. I mean, people have been saying for a while that what we have at the southern border, it's an invasion. Our country is being invaded. And the scene today, the images and the video clips of migrants trying to force their way into the country, that is invasion. That is clearly invasion. There cannot be any debate about it. Republicans often use the term invasion, like, what's happening at the border crisis, that's invasion. The Democrats, they try to downplay it. They try to say, oh, it's a challenge. It's not an invasion. They are seeking asylum. They are here. They want to work. No, no, no. Let me tell you what I saw today, and the whole world saw it because it's on video. You cannot dispute those images and those video clips. It was an invasion. That's what's happening at the southern border. There's an invasion. Foreign nationals are invading our country. They're coming into our country. They're forcing their way into our country. And that's what I saw. These illegal immigrants, on that video, they also knocked down National Guard soldiers as they attempted to enter the United States. And that's why I keep saying that, we need to enforce our nation's immigration laws. But we see that the Biden administration is not doing that. They're not doing their job. And so in Texas, there's a law, SB 4, Senate Bill 4. You may have heard about it. I talked about it previously. We need laws like SB 4. SB 4 in Texas, a law that allows state and local law enforcement authorities to arrest suspected illegal immigrants. That's SB 4. And we need laws like that. Now, recently, the Supreme Court made a decision because, there are always people out there who challenge good laws, okay? And this is a good law. This is something that we need. But there are legal challenges. And Teresa Ross writes, violence against the guards is unacceptable. Absolutely, it's unacceptable. Our border patrol agents, the National Guard troops, they are there to protect and to serve. They are protecting our country. And these illegal immigrants, they knocked down National Guard soldiers. It was, as I said, it was crazy. It was unbelievable what I was seeing, but the world saw it. I saw it. Teresa Ross is joining us. She saw it. Millions of people all over the world. I mean, these videos are on the news channels. These videos are all over the internet, and it's just unbelievable. And Teresa, as you said, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that there that National Guard soldiers were knocked down. So this law that I'm talking about in Texas, Senate Bill 4, SB 4, good law, very much necessary, but obviously there are legal challenges. There are people out there who see a good law and they like to challenge it. They want good laws to be struck down. And so there are legal challenges that SB4 is facing. And then recently, the US Supreme Court made a decision. The US Supreme Court ruled to allow this law to go into effect, okay? Because there was a challenge, and then the matter ended up in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that this law can go into effect. However, right after the law went into effect, an appeals court blocked it. An appeals court blocked it. So let me share my view on this. Senate Bill 4 in Texas is very, very necessary. This is a law that was signed in Texas, a law that would allow law enforcement to arrest suspected illegal immigrants. And this is the kind of law that we need to address the crisis at the southern border. Because, like I said, let me repeat that. The Biden administration should be enforcing our nation's immigration laws and should be protecting our country, should be securing the southern border, but the Biden administration is not doing its job. So the lawmakers in Texas, they came up with Senate Bill 4, and obviously I keep saying Greg Abbott, the best governor in the country right now. So anyway, Senate Bill 4, because Texas officials, they want to do what they can. The Texas officials, they want to use their power, their resources, their authority to protect the border as much as they can. And so Senate Bill 4 is an important step in the right direction, but this law is running into roadblocks. And this is sad. And I'll tell you, any freedom-loving American would support this law. I wish to see Senate Bill 4 overcome the roadblocks and defeat the challenges and go into effect. I want to see this law enforced. I want to see law enforcement agencies arrest suspected illegal immigrants. So, my friends, what I'll sum it up by saying this is why the November 2024 election is so important, okay? So I'm going to be talking more about Senate Bill 4, hopefully in the upcoming days, but let me now switch the topic. Let me now talk about the upcoming election because it is so important. So I have been emphasizing, obviously there's the presidential election, so we have to elect the Republican, the GOP nominee, and that's Donald Trump. He's the presumptive nominee. So we have to, if we want to secure the southern border, we need to elect Donald Trump. Now, I have also been emphasizing the importance of the US Senate races across the country. Okay? It is important for the Republicans to regain the majority in the US Senate. And for that, they have to win. The Republicans have to win some Senate races. I'm going to be talking about a few Senate races that I think are important, that I think we can win. Let's start with Maryland, okay? Maryland, we know, is a blue state. It's a blue state. It's a Democrat state. But Larry Hogan in Maryland, he's a Republican. He served as the governor of Maryland. So being a Republican governor in a blue state, that's very interesting, right? So it means that although Maryland is a blue state, Larry Hogan, as a Republican, has done well in terms of, winning election. He served as the Republican governor in a blue state of Maryland. So Larry Hogan reportedly is ahead in the race for the Senate. According to the Washington Post University of Maryland survey, reportedly the survey showed Larry Hogan would defeat both likely Democratic contenders. And this is, hypothetical matchups. It's all hypothetical. But according to the survey, Larry Hogan would defeat Democrat David Trone. I hope I'm pronouncing the names correctly. David Trone. Larry Hogan would defeat Democrat David Trone 49 to 37%. So that's pretty good. Also, Larry Hogan would defeat Democrat Angela Alsobrooks 50 to 36%. So that's also great. Now, as I said, Hogan served as the governor of Maryland. So he's a Republican in a blue state, but there is a path to victory for him. So as he's running for the US Senate, if Larry Hogan wins, that's a seat that the Republicans pick up. And that's going to help us get to Senate majority. Now, let's talk about West Virginia, another important race. Jim Justice, he's in a good position to win. That's all I can say. I'm not giving you any poll numbers. I'm not sharing with you any survey data. I'm just telling you that Jim Justice, the governor of West Virginia, he's a Republican, and he is in a very good position to win the Senate race. Okay, so if we win that, and West Virginia it's a Trump area, people love Trump in West Virginia. And so I'm hoping that Republican Jim Justice will win, and that's going to help the Republicans regain majority in the US Senate. Now, my friends, let me talk about Ohio. I was looking at the Real Clear polling, and it seems that Sherrod Brown, who is the Democrat incumbent, okay, he's the incumbent Democrat senator, US Senator Sherrod Brown, it seems that he is still ahead, okay, according to Real Clear polling. But there is still time. Let me tell you, between now and November, there's a lot of time. And let's not forget, Bernie Moreno officially won the primary just a couple days ago. So we have to give Bernie Moreno the time to gain some momentum for the general election. Because Bernie Moreno had to face a hurdle. He didn't just get into the race and easily get statewide support, because there was more than one candidate running in the primary for the Senate race. So there was Mr. Dolan, and there was somebody else whose name I'm forgetting, and there was Bernie Moreno. So as far as I know, I know three names, three individuals. There could have been more. Three individuals who ran in the primary, and Bernie Moreno won the primary. But that was a hurdle that he had to cross. He had to win the primary. And let me tell you, Bernie Moreno got Donald Trump's endorsement, but there was Matt Dolan, I think, Mr. Dolan, another candidate. He got the endorsement of the governor of Ohio. So it wasn't that Bernie Moreno got all the support that he needed. He got President Trump's endorsement, but the governor of Ohio did not endorse Bernie Moreno in the primary. The governor endorsed Matt Dolan. I think if I remember the name correctly. I'm looking at so many candidates, so many different names. Yes, it's Matt Dolan. So Trump-backed Bernie Moreno has won the Republican Senate primary, but that was a hurdle that he had to go through. And so now that Bernie Moreno has won the primary, he can focus entirely on the general election. And so we have to give Bernie Moreno some time to gain momentum. Okay? So it was Matt Dolan and who was the other person? I knew the name. But I just Frank LaRose. Okay, so in the Ohio primary, it was Bernie Moreno, it was Matt Dolan, and it was Frank LaRose. Okay, so Bernie Moreno had to defeat Frank LaRose and Matt Dolan in order to become the GOP nominee. So he had to go through a tough primary which obviously absorbed a lot of his energy. But now that he has won, Bernie Moreno can focus on the general election. And so we have to give Mr. Moreno some time to gain some speed and to catch up. So although real clear polling shows that incumbent Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown is still ahead, I am very, very hopeful that as we go forward, Bernie Moreno is going to gain momentum, and over the next few months, he's going to be doing great. He may even be ahead. And once again, polls are polls. Polls try to make predictions, kind of give us a picture of what may be going on, but election day, there's really no way to 100% accurately predict what's going to happen in an election. Okay, so we have seen in the past that polls may show that candidate A is winning, but then in the election, candidate B may end up winning. And I'm just using generic language here. So Bernie Moreno is behind a little bit according to Real Clear polling, but I'm hoping that over the next few months he's going to be doing great and catching up, and hopefully, gaining more support, and hopefully he's going to defeat Sherrod Brown in November. Now let's talk about Arizona, my friends. Okay, Teresa Ross, I don't know if Teresa is still here. I'm going to talk a little bit about Arizona. I looked at the Real Clear polling average, and it seems, unfortunately, that Kari Lake is behind. Okay. Once again, I'll say the same thing. There are still many months left between now and November. I know that it seems time flies really fast, and I have also said that, oh, November is far away, but in the wink of an eye we will be in November. So as much as I think that time moves very fast, but the facts are the facts. There's a certain way we perceive information. So it seems that, oh, we were in 2022 and suddenly we're in 2023 and then suddenly we're in 2024. How is time moving so fast, right? That's how we often view life. But let me tell you, it's March. You've got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. There are still many months left, and I'm hoping that Kari Lake is also going to gain a lot of momentum, and I'm looking forward to seeing her win. Okay. Now we also have to admit the fact that Arizona can be challenging. It is a challenging state, as we have seen in recent years. It's not really an easy state for Republicans. Okay. According to what we saw in the last few years. So Kari Lake may have an uphill battle, but I am very hopeful. And between now and election day, there's a lot of time. A lot can change. So I'm not going into a lot of details about Arizona. I'll just tell you I'm hopeful that Kari Lake is going to do really good. Okay, that's my hope. And I know she's strong, she's a solid conservative, and she has a lot of support. So, let's think positive. As voters start paying attention to the names that are likely to appear on the ballot in November, I'm hoping that some of these poll numbers will change. The Real Clear polling average now puts Kari Lake at 43. And is it Gallego? I may be getting the pronunciation wrong, so forgive me for that. But Kari Lake is running against a Democrat, obviously. Kari Lake is a Republican. So the Democrat, Gallego, I think that's the name, is at 49. So Kari Lake is at 43. The other person is at 49. So there's still some difference between 43 and 49. But it's still, it's not impossible. Kari Lake can catch up. And she can be ahead, hopefully, in the months to come. Now let's look at Wisconsin. That's my state. Let's talk about Wisconsin. As I keep saying, my friends, Wisconsin is a battleground state. The 10 electoral college votes in Wisconsin are extremely important to win the presidency. But I'm going to be talking about the Senate race in Wisconsin. Incumbent Democrat Senator Tammy Baldwin, incumbent Democrat U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, is up for re-election. She's running for re-election. And let's look at Emerson College polling. For the dates, February 20 to February 24, Emerson poll showed Tammy Baldwin at 46%, Democrat Tammy Baldwin at 46%, and Eric Hovde, the leading GOP candidate. Okay, he still has to go through a primary, but he's leading. He's leading um, out of the GOP candidates who are running in Wisconsin. He's leading. He's ahead. So Tammy Baldwin, and this is a poll, Emerson College poll from February 20 to 24. Tammy Baldwin is at 46%. Eric Hovde is at 39. Okay, so there's a difference. And then in March, between March 14 and March 18, the poll showed Baldwin at 45. So from 46, she went down to 45. And Hovde is at 42. So from 39, he came up to 42. So back in February, Baldwin at 46, Hovde at 39. In March, Baldwin at 45. So her number went down a little bit. And Hovde is at now 42, but he was at 39 previously. So you can see that the difference has shrunk. And so the race is becoming more intense and the competition is increasing. I mean, that's a good thing for Republicans. And so now I'm hopeful that over the next few months, like I said, for Arizona, Kari Lake may be behind, but she is probably going to catch up very soon. That's my hope. Same in Wisconsin. I'm hoping that, our GOP candidate, once again, let me just tell you, we haven't had the primary yet. So we have to have the primary, and then, Hovde can officially become, because right now, we know that he's the leading candidate. Okay, there are a few Republicans running for U.S. Senate in Wisconsin, but he's the leading candidate, and the polls show that he's behind. So Tammy Baldwin is ahead, but there's time. So Hovde is gaining momentum, and so April is going to be very important. May, June, July, we're going to be paying attention. We're going to be tracking the polling data to see how the race continues, and whether Tammy Baldwin, the difference between Tammy Baldwin and Hovde grow, or does it shrink, and maybe at some point Hovde is going to be leading. Is that going to happen? So I'm going to be paying attention to all of this. I'm going to be tracking all the information, but I am hoping, let me just tell you, I am hoping that in Wisconsin, Republicans can win the Senate seat. Okay, Republicans can defeat Tammy Baldwin and win the Senate seat. I'm hoping that's what happens in Wisconsin. In Arizona, I'm hoping Kari Lake wins. Okay, in Ohio, I hope Bernie Moreno wins. In West Virginia, I'm very, very confident that Jim Justice will win. In Maryland, I am looking forward to Larry Hogan winning. So I am really hoping that Republicans win these important Senate races. That way we will be able to regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. So November 2024, as we look at November 2024, we have to focus on the presidential election. Donald Trump has to win. Republicans will have to regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. And Republicans will have to grow the size of the majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. So lots of important things we have to keep in mind. And so on this channel, I'm going to be discussing all the latest news, all the latest updates. And, it's not just me sharing my thoughts and views and opinions with you. I also want to hear from you, what you have to say. So share with me your thoughts, send me your comments, ask me questions, participate in the chat window, and watch my videos, comment on my videos, share my videos with your friends, family members, and neighbors. So I would appreciate that very, very much. I'm going to, I don't have anything else to add today. My live streams are usually an hour long. If you've been paying attention, then you know that that's how long I try to live stream every night. But then again, I don't have any fixed length of time that I have to be live streaming. If there are things you want to discuss, we can continue our discussion. And if not, then I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we may have snow on the ground. I was hoping for some 60-degree weather, but what can I do? We're getting snow overnight. So, my friends, that's all I have. Unless you have questions or comments, I'm going to be ending this live stream. So, thank you all for joining. I know Teresa Ross participated in the live chat window today. I know other people have also tuned in, have joined. But if you have any questions, we still have maybe a minute left. You can ask your questions, and then I can try to answer. Otherwise, I'm going to be ending this live stream. So, my friends, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And once again, please check out my videos. In addition to doing live streams, I publish a lot of videos. So, check those videos out and let me know your thoughts. Go to my website, tausifanam.net. And if you want to email me, my email address is tausif@tausifanam.net. Also, you will find me on Facebook. You will find me on Instagram. You will find me on X, which is formerly known as Twitter. So please connect with me on social media. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Please stay connected with me, my friends. Have a wonderful night, and let's look forward to Republican victories in November. Thank you, my friends. Have a good night.